in the first round of the big dance. Nationwide Arena, home of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Ball brought to center circle. And for the first time in 8 years, the Washington Huskies and the Utah State Aggies are dancing. And the Aggies control the opening tap. They'll bring it from right to left from our vantage point. The Huskies come out in that great 2-3 zone defense, which is active right off the top. Sam Merrill with the ball from the top, wants to post up Keita underneath. Walling up is Hamir Wright. Turnaround hook shot over top. Hamir was good. 2-0 lead. Great defense out of Hamir.
Yeah, he was caught a little bit behind on that left side. Keita got good post position. Hamir one step slow, and then the jump hook. Lanky at 6'11".
Backdoor bounce pass to Jalen Noel. Baseline jumper, no good. Offensive rebound by Dickerson. Put back was swatted away. Rebound Utah State. Into the front court. Merrill pushes the tempo. Bounce to Keita. Layup. Oh, he missed it. Uncontested. Rebound Hamir Wright.
Washington caught a break there. He just wedged that ball in between the rim and Matisse Thybulle. Obvious travel.
He's looking for an explanation, but to your point, it just waited a little too long to get rid of the basketball as he brought it on the right wing. I thought Hamir Wright, though, walled up against the big 6'11" Keita by using his chest early on and did pretty well on that last possession. Here's Utah State with the rock. Bounce to the mid-post. It's Taylor. Ball taken away by Noah Dickerson, and the Husky defense forces a stop.
A couple of stops now back-to-back. Washington's had one good look. The short jumper from Jalen Noel. You need to execute here offensively. 1
minute into the ball game and a throwaway by the Huskies. They posted up Dickerson. He looked to get it to Hamir Wright, and back-to-back turnovers by Washington. Maybe a little nervous on the big stage under the bright lights, down 2-0.
Well, it's not like Noah Dickerson hasn't seen that double in the entire year. So for him to not take a step and dribble that ball out, try to pass that one out with a bad angle, that's a poor play from Noah.
Brock Miller with the ball right wing, gets it into the corner where they work it down to Taylor. Now they'll post up Merrill on the baseline, working around the perimeter. Left wing three from Miller is on the way and good. We just said he struggles from the outside, 26% over the last 11 games, but feels it early, 5-0 Utah State.
They're going inside out. They're making Washington move defensively, getting a good look.
Hamir Wright has it head of the circle. One dribble and a throw over right side to David Crisp, then offer him a screen to the left. Crossover move. Crisp, an early three. Swish! David Crisp says, let's go, as he looks to the Husky bench. First points of the game for the Dogs, down 5-3.
An important sign for Washington, though, is to have David Crisp knock down a shot early. Typically, when he gets going early, he has big first halves.
37% from the outside this year. Utah State gets it mid-post to Merrill. Bounce into the corner. Baseline jumper. Taylor's good, and Utah State with a 2 makes it 7-3.
Once again, Tony, they're going high post, though. They're forcing Washington to collapse, and they're kicking out for jumpers.
2 assists on 3 made buckets for Utah State. Here's David Crisp from the right elbow, now backs off behind the three-point arc. Handoff goes Jalen Noel, brings it head of the circle. 17:37 to go in the first half. Huskies down by 4. Jalen Noel gets bumped, throws up a mid-range shot, draws the foul, didn't go in, but he's going to get free throws.
Wow, Michael Irvin's going to call that with shots. I thought because he pump faked, came back and stepped back, that they were going to call that on the ground. Instead, they're going to give it to him as an attempt.
Noel, a 77% free throw shooter, goes to the strike. Pac-12 Player of the Year is voted on by the coaches in the conference. The sophomore from Garfield High School concentrates, shoots, and swishes. And the Huskies are within 3. It's 7-4 with 17:35 to go here in the first half. Jalen Noel averaging 16.2 points per game, but also his 5.3 rebounds has been big. He's been the team's leading rebounder from the guard position in 10 games this year, and he converts both free throws. Dogs within 2.
All right, now both teams have got some rhythm now. Ball's gone in the basket. We should be seeing some better execution.
Abel Porter tries to throw mid-range, gets knocked away by David Crisp, and the Huskies take it away. Quickly up the floor, it's Jalen Noel on the left wing, work it out to Thybulle high on the left. Thybulle surveys the defense from Utah State, gives out top to right. Now right side, it's Crisp. He's going to angle in from the left side a little. Dipsy-do, missed the layup. Rebound Utah State. Here they come quickly up the floor. Merrill in attack mode, gets to the foul line and gets swatted by Matisse Thybulle, block number 78.
Yeah, great job in retreat, Matisse Thybulle. You better know where he is. And right there, Sam Merrill, first time, welcome.
Did not know where he was. Inbounds pass knocked away by Thybulle, goes out of bounds to the Husky bench. It's going to stay with Utah State. And now on the last 2 offensive possessions for Utah State, we've seen the length of Thybulle wreak some havoc as the Aggies will enter the ball with a 2-point lead, 7-5, 3 minutes gone by, the first round of the NCAA tournament. Miller gives out top to Abel Porter, work it right side, over to Merrill. Merrill picks up his dribble, in trouble, finds Porter top of the key. Miller with a little shoulder shake, returns it over to Porter. Now right side, Merrill used his arm with a little swim move to get around Jalen Noel, and Jalen got the foul.
Jalen closing out, took a bad angle. You got to use your feet there instead of running right at Merrill's body. You can see Will Conroy going right over to Jalen Noel and saying, hey, this is how you got to adjust to that.
First foul of the game on Jalen Noel, the first against the Huskies. As you can see, Merrill's definitely a driver and slasher, though he's capable of hitting outside shots. Right wing, it's Miller, angles in, floater, back of the rim, no good, but a foul on the floor against David Crisp. And no, that's active shooting. 2 shots for Brock Miller, the freshman from Sandy, Utah.
I've always said, especially with this Washington zone for the Huskies, you have to keep players in front of you. You cannot allow the dribble penetration. It wreaks havoc on the rest of the people in the back half of that zone. You can't go for the jump with the head and shoulders fake right there. David Crisp goes for it. Miller able to drive by him.
And the 88% free throw shooter knocks in the first. He'll try one more. 16:37 to go first half. Utah State 8, Washington 5. Miller concentrates. Releases with the right hand, rattles around and falls through. It's a 4-point lead for the Aggies. Huskies up the floor. David Crisp from left to right leads the charge. Pass left wing over to Matisse Thybulle. Give it out top, Hamir right. Now on the right wing, it's Jalen Noel. Crouches low, brings the ball high. He'll post up Dickerson. There's the double team. On the right wing, it got pushed out. Dickerson returns it. Jalen Noel, 15 on the shot clock. Noel low to the ground, angles in, kicks left side. Crisp for 3. That one had some English on it as he let it go. Kind of a slider shot. Missed it long. Rebound Aggies. Up the floor comes Utah State. It's Porter with the ball. Between the rings, gives off to Merrill, now gets it back. Throws to the mid post over to Taylor, back out to Porter. Now Miller high on the left. Decks it once, picks it up, gives off Abel Porter high on the right. Scoop it over to Miller. Miller will post up Taylor again. Turnaround mid-range shot, good. Utah State rolling, they lead by 6.
Amir Wright's got to take up that space. That's the shot that Washington wants people to take, but there was one step in the dribble in there, and that's a little too close to the basket.
5 for Miller. 4 for Taylor early on. In the right corner, Hamir Wright shoots a 3, rattles it in. Hamir Wright, who only had 9 3-pointers in the regular season, makes his 4th of the postseason, and the Huskies are within 3.
Well, Hamir was the catalyst at the beginning of that Colorado game when he knocked down a couple of big shots. Confident offensively.
Brock Miller high on the right, holds the ball, now drives, angles in, whistle, and a charge coming the other way. Hamir Wright was posted up in the middle of the lane, and he took it really well. The Huskies get the ball back on another turnover by Utah State. Timeout on the floor. That's the 3rd giveaway of the game for the Aggies already. And with 15-14 to go in the first half, the Aggies lead Washington 11-8 at the first round of the NCAA tournament from Learfield IMG College.
Turnovers, but still, they're not giving Utah State another attempt to score. Washington, though, offensively, Tony, with Noah Dickerson in the game, he is going to get double teamed. He's got to be able to catch that ball in the post, become a willing passer, and get that thing out of his hands without turning it over. That's going to be key to this offense for the Huskies.
Dogs have 2 giveaways. Utah State with 3 as David Crisp brings the ball up the floor from left to right. Utah State out there in a man-to-man defense. As Jalen Noel has it between the rings. Spins a bounce pass down low. Slipping and falling as David Crisp goes to his knee. Bounces it out to Dickerson. 13 on the shot clock. Now it's Jalen Noel high on the left. He'll kick it out to Thybulle. Pump fake. Got his man to move. Steps to his left. Shoots the 3. That one's short. Offensive rebound. Nas Carter as he bounces it out to Crisp. Teardrop floater. Good by David Crisp. He's got 5. Dogs within 1.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. That was not well executed offense. I think they got a couple of good shots out of it, including the last when David Crisp picked up that ball and said, there's no one in the lane. Let me just go.
All right, let's see what the Dogs defense dials up here as Abel Porter high on the left. Gives off left side to Dwayne Brown Jr. coming off the bench. Returns it to Porter. Now it's Diogo Brito on the left wing. Posting up, Cater returns it, Brito, and the ball knocked away out of bounds. It's going to stay with Utah State, but the Dogs are closing on some passing lanes.
You like how David Crisp typically doesn't go that far, that low in the zone, but saw where Cato was up against the baseline and decided to move on down.
Here's Porter with 6 to shoot. Bounce right side. Merrill tries to angle in. Charges right over Noah Dickerson. That's a foul on Merrill, his first of the ball game, and the second charge taken by the Huskies as they get it back down 1.
We had a conversation about Utah State's offense, and really in the Mountain West, it's a lot of man-to-man. So Sam Merrill's used to coming off screens, a lot of dribble drive kick. He's having to split gaps and make moves. It's not his strong suit.
Huskies looking for their first lead of the game. game, 6 minutes into it. Matisse Thybulle high on the left, gives off center circle. David Crisp, defended by Porter in the man-to-man. Scoop right side over to Noel. He skips head of the circle, picks up his dribble, and gives to Thybulle. Thybulle wants to drive, gets into the lane, fumbled it away, out of bounds, and back to Utah State. Thybulle wanted a foul, but that was clearly off his shin.
Well, Matisse, that's not really his strong suit either. Top of the key, try to beat a defender all the way to the rim. He's more of a slasher from the wing. And that's the second turnover for Matisse.
Aggies trot up the floor from right to left. It's Porter going over to the left wing. Give off to Merrill. Entry pass to Keita, knocked away by Dickerson. Into the hands of Noel. Huskies on a break. Noel gets to the foul line, dumps down to Noah. Noah pump fake, layup, good! And Washington has the lead by 1, 12-11 on the first points of the game for Noah Dickerson.
Once again, Tony, the defense creating the offense, the poke away, and then the transition.
5 turnovers already for Utah State, a team that's averaged 9 a game over the last 7. Keita dumps off to Merrill, bounce pass low to Brown, kick out, and a 3 rejected out of bounds by Thybulle as he sends it into the Husky bench on an attempt by Porter.
I'm surprised there was not a foul call there. That was an absolute engulfing block. But man, he went through the body. It looked like a Porter.
Porter ended up on his backside as Utah State has the ball. Washington up 12-11, 13-12 to go. Merrill wants to drive, backdoor bounce to Brito. He dumps it down low to Keita, ball stripped away again. Huskies have it in transition, Crisp up the middle of the floor. Hesitates, accelerates, no look pass into the corner for Thybulle, and the Huskies wisely will back it out. They'll post up Dickerson, reverse layup, good! As he schools Keita, the Mountain West Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Dickerson has 4, Dogs by 3.
Great entry pass there from Matisse Thybulle. Gave it to Noah exactly where he needed it to make a move right away.
Brown crossover dribble on the left wing. Dogs playing with some momentum on a 9-0 run. Keita goes for a layup, rejected by Carter. Rebound Washington. Ball gets thrown up into the air. Jarred loose, almost went in the goal. Huskies get a rebound. Dickerson grabs it away and gets fouled.
Tell you what, you want to talk about momentum and hustle plays. The whole conversation had been about Cato and his ability to block shots, and right there, back-to-back catches of the basketball, pinned and then swatted from the Dogs.
Keita is 6'11" with a 7'5" wingspan, but he doesn't have the 44.5-inch vertical that Nas Carter has, who just pinned that ball up against the backboard and gave the ball back to the Huskies. Washington has it with a 3-point lead on a 9-0 run. David Crisp skips into the front court across the March Madness logo. Gives off Sam Timmons, seeing his first minutes of the game. Hand off to Matisse Thybulle, who fumbles it. He's able to retreat and save it from going into the backcourt. Fumbles again, does the same thing. Now scoops it over to Dominic Green, handoff David Crisp. High on the left, 10 on the shot clock. Crossover move. David Crisp bounces from left to right. Gives it to Thybulle. Spin into the paint. Fadeaway jumper, a little short. Rebound Brock Miller, Utah State. Huskies go one and done on that possession. 8 minutes gone by. They've got a 3-point lead. Miller on the right wing. Brings it ahead of the circle. Tries a pass to Merrill. Got deflected by Thybulle. Merrill still catches. Merrill picks up his dribble. Needs some help. Bounce to Brito. Turnaround jumper from the elbow. Back to the rim. No good. Tap back is good by Justin Bean, seeing his first action off the bench.
Yeah, Noah Dickerson goes to the bench, and no other Husky went for the basketball. Sam Timmons right there in the middle of the lane. Didn't extend out.
Dogs bring the ball up the floor, up by 1. David Crisp has the ball right wing, gives off top to Matisse Thybulle. Head of the circle, defended by Bean, returns it over to Crisp on the right wing. Crisp sizes up his man. Diogo Brito takes him into the paint, kicks out to Thybulle, angles his way in from the left, and then airmails it left side, intended for David Crisp, but Matisse Thybulle looks like he's pressing here in the first 8.5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, he's trying way too hard to become an offensive piece to what Washington's going on right now. He just needs to play his game and settle down.
Huskies lead by a point, 14-13 over Utah State, with 11:19 to go in the first half of the first round of the NCAA tournament. Live from Columbus, Ohio, this is Husky basketball from Learfield IMG College.
Score the ball, wide open looks to get hot.
Utah State's had low turnover numbers over the last 8 games, with one aberration. 8, 11, 6, 11, 9, 24, 9, 10. They've got 6 giveaways so far. Utah State does have the ball, though. And 1-point lead for Washington. It's Merrill, head of the circle, gets the screen to his right, defended tightly by David Crisp in the 2-3. Kick out to Brito, tries to split the top of the zone, loses the ball on the dribble, goes 5-hole on Timmons, picked up by Jalen Noel. Huskies on a break, but it's 2-on-3. He's going to scoot back left side to Dominic Green, who brings the ball around his defender and returns it Noel left side. Noel angles in, kicks into the corner. Green for 3. That one off the back of the rim, and Timmons was going after the board. Now Crisp attacks after it at center circle. Utah State takes it away. Fast break, Miller, a layup on the way, missed it. Offensive rebound, put back up and in. Low on the left by Justin Bean. Aggies get the lead back by 1.
Can't have it right there, the loose ball in Washington's side of the floor. David Crisp tries to get it, but then in transition, Utah State had a couple of cracks at it.
Jalen Noel crouches low on the right wing. Now crossover dribble, handoff goes Nas Carter coming off the bench. Brings it, head of the circle, gets to the foul line, lost his handle, posts up Timmons deep under the basket, pushed out of the lane. 10 on the shot clock, back to the basket, bounce over to Noel. Baseline jumper, no, he's gonna return it to Timmons, who missed the dunk. Ends up in the hands of Green. Kick out to Carter, 1 on the shot clock. David Crisp got to do something with a fadeaway shot. Out of bounds, air ball. And the shot clock didn't reset because it was an airball dunk attempt by Sam Timmons. That's what kind of caused that out of sorts scurry there.
Yeah, Sam had to collect himself. That should have been an easy dunk with almost no contest, but because he collected himself, there was a Utah State player that was able to react and get a hand on it.
Halfway through the first half, Utah State leads by 1, 15-14. To the mid-post, Bean, turnaround jumper, good. He's come off the bench and been big tonight. He's got 6. And Utah State leads by 3, 17-14.
Yeah, big momentum plays and momentum swings right now in this game.
Yeah, Utah State on a 6-0 run after the Huskies rattled off 9 unanswered. Here's Dominic Green high on the left. Keeps the dribble alive, gives off top. Nas Carter now high on the right. It's Noel returning it to Carter. Left point 3 on the way. Steps into it. Left it wide left. Offensive rebound by Noah Dickerson. He ends up on the deck. Picked up and cleaned up by Nas Carter. Left of the bucket.
Yeah, it worked out for Washington with the offensive rebound, but they cannot fall in love with the three-point shot. We saw that in some of the Pac-12 conference tournament games. It can't be your entire offense.
Utah State by 1, 17-16. Here's Merrill. From the March Madness logo, picks up his dribble, gives off to Miller, thinks about a 3, now kicks it left side over to Brito. Brito gives it left to the key to Bean, missed a fadeaway jumper, rebound Dominic Green. Up the left sideline comes David Crisp, high stepping into the front court, brings it left wing. Now Dominic Green returns it over to David Crisp on the left side. Wants to post up Dickerson. There's the double team. Noah's got to pass out of it or spin past it. He does. Kicks into the corner. And now it's Nas Carter bringing it up toward the top of the key with 14 on the shot clock. Give off to Crisp. A deep 3 from Crisp. Missed it. Offensive rebound. Dickerson layup. Good! Noah Dickerson 6 points and 4 boards. And the Huskies take the lead back by 1, 18-17.
Offensive rebounding right now for the Huskies. 5 of them able to get 6 second chance points.
Against the 5th best defensive rebounding team in the country. Here's Miller high on the left. Brings it ahead of the circle. Now give off right side over to Brito. Pushes it left side Miller. Miller goes mid post over to Bean. Tries a cross court pass intercepted by David Crisp. Crisp up the middle of the floor for the Dogs, leading by a point. Kicks into the corner right side. Carter goes up strong. Layup falls off the rim. Offensive rebound cleaned up by Jalen Noel. He's got 4. He was attacking the glass after Nas Carter made a big strong move on the right baseline, and the Dogs lead by 3.
I love how Jalen didn't give up. It looked like Nas had an easy layup. He still went to the rim and found a basketball.
20-17. Now Miller tries to tie it up. He missed the 3, and Dickerson again with a huge board, his 5th of the ball game. Up the right sideline, Jalen Noel hesitates, steps into an 18-footer, fouled on the release, and Jalen Noel is going to get a couple of free throws after the second personal foul that goes against Merrill. That could change this game with 7:41 to go in the first half. Washington leads Utah State 20-17 on a 6-0 run, and going to the foul stripe when we continue in a moment. From Columbus, Ohio's Nationwide Arena, this is first round coverage of the NCAA tournament from Learfield IMG College.
Decided to reach, and as you said, now sitting on the bench, 7:41 to go in this first half. Let's see how Utah State responds, and quite honestly, let's see how Washington responds without him on the floor.
Jalen Noel goes to the stripes, 76% free throw shooter on the year, 16 points per game, the Pac-12 player of the year. Sets himself with several dribbles, now a spin, bends the knees, flicks the right wrist, and scores. Huskies up by 4, 21-17. There are a couple areas where Utah State ranks elitely. Defensive rebound percentage is one of them. Namish Keita block shots, one of them. But neither of those categories are showing up in this game so far, as Washington's done nicely on the offensive end, and they haven't had a shot blocked yet by Keita. Both free throws make it a 5-point lead, and now the 2-3 zone attacks. It causes a deflection. Utah State still keeps it, though. It's Abel Porter from the head of the circle. Now brings it high on the left. Craig Smith with his hands folded on top of his head, as he knows his team just avoided the 2-3 attack. Right side, bounce by Porter to Keita, layup good over the outstretched hand from Noah Dickerson. Pulls Utah State within 3.
That's a pretty nifty play from Porter, though, to get that drop down pocket pass to Keita on the catch.
Jalen Noel off a screen, gets to the foul line, gives out top to Thibault, returns it. Noel, right point 3, high arching shot is good. Jalen Noel's got 9. Huskies with their biggest lead at 6. It's 25-19.
Jalen Noel feeling it. Nice job from Matisse Thibault. He's not feeling it. Decided to give up an open look to give it to Jalen Noel.
Now it's Brito, gets to the foul line. Brito dumps it down, layoff. Oh, Keita might have goaltended that. They didn't call it. It's 2 from Brito, and it pulls Utah State within 4.
Michael Irving, the Pac-12 official who was right in front of us, said that he went over but didn't touch it above the cylinder. It looked really close.
There's Dominic Green at the left point. Gives it left wing to Thibault. Now offers Thibault a screen. Brings it high on the left and a low bounce pass to Dickerson. Backs his way in and fouled on the spin move. Noah Dickerson goes spin cycle, draws a foul. Noah's so good at that. He's 6th in the nation in fouls drawn, 2nd in free throw rate, and he's going to get 2 here.
Yeah, Brito on the reach in, the one-on-one with Keita. You can clearly tell that Utah State is concerned, but I think with Merrill out of this game, they're trying to play straight up.
A foul on Brito is his first, and Noah Dickerson rattles in the free throw. 68% at the stripe. Noah Dickerson maybe struggled a little bit down the stretch at the free throw line, not shooting it as high of a percentage as he's used to, but we're going to see Dominic Green checked out of the ball game. Huskies run with Jalen Noel, Nas Carter, Noah Dickerson, Matisse Thibault, and Jamal Bay seeing his first action with a bright pink tennis shoes. Second free throw good by Dickerson, 6-point lead.
This is important now for Washington to continue to get stops. Merrill on the bench, got to lock down.
Porter gets to the foul line, into the paint. Floater no good, foul on Thibault. That's going to be his first.
And Matisse has got to be careful that he doesn't continue to press, because he's pressing on the offensive end. I know there's a lot of eyeballs on him. This is the big stage, potential to be the defensive player of the year in the country. And, you know, you just don't want to be in a situation where you're trying to do too much.
Well, he's already got 2 blocks and 1 steal, doing normal Matisse things on the defensive end, but Abel Porter's at the free throw stripe after Matisse Thibault's first foul, and he converts the first. 27-22, Washington by 5, 6-12 to go in the first half. Second free throw coming for Abel Porter. Earned a scholarship 2 days before the game against New Mexico, and then hit the game-winning three-pointer in his first game as a scholarship athlete. He missed that second free throw, though, and the Dogs have it with a 5-point lead. Jalen Noel across the March Madness logo gives off Nas Carter. Now left wing is Jamal Bay as Nationwide Arena is filling up here. Noel drive and kick to Thibault. Catch and shoot 3 on the way, short. Thibault follows his own miss, but Brock Miller wrestled away the rebound, and Thibault tied him up. Possession arrow with Washington. Nice job by Matisse.
And a dangerous play by Matisse to try to get his hand in after picking up that first foul. I wasn't sure that he was going to try to go in there and dig that ball out, but Washington able to get the possession arrow back.
And off a possession arrow turnover, the person that ties up gets the steal. So that's the second of the game for Thibault, the 119th of the season for Matisse. As he continues to climb up the NCAA charts, he's top 20 all time for most steals in a season. And now Miller has to check out of the game because he's got some blood after the tie-up with Matisse Thibault.
Right.
And Craig Smith is saying, what about no blood, no foul?
Right. That's why I was concerned when Thibault went in, because he swatted down originally to try to knock the ball loose. And I think he got Miller across the bridge of the nose before being able to get it at his waist to tie him up. And typically when you have a timeout, injury type timeout, the player has to come out of the game, especially if there's blood. I'm surprised they're allowing him to stay in.
So he gets cleaned up and he checks back into the game, although it may still be bleeding. Hard to tell because it's on the other end of the floor. Entry pass to Dickerson, handoff goes Jalen Noel. Mid-range jumper on the way short, and a rebound Utah State. Huskies lead by 5, 5:44 to go in the first half. Quickly up the floor, and a bump foul called on the far side against Jamal Bay, as Abel Porter kind of lowered the shoulder against Bay being out of position.
Washington has been good in defensive transition in this game. That's one of the rare times that Utah State has been able to catch some steam and try to dribble drive early in the shot clock.
Diogo Brito enters it over to Porter. Now That's Miller high on the left. Returns to Porter, who's running the point for Utah State. Gives it to Miller between the rings, defended tightly by Thibault. Gives off left side, Burrito, pump fake, kicks back out top. Miller for three from straight on, rings it up, and pulls Utah State within two.
One of the rare threes, and Miller's the guy with a couple of them. You got to get out on him. He's got a funny shot. It's hitched at the top, but he shoots it from high above his head, so it's difficult to defend.
We said it. He was 26% from the outside in the last 11 games, but 77% of his attempts on the season are from the outside. He wants to shoot the three. 10 on the shot clock for the Huskies. Head of the circle, it's David Crisp. Kick left side over to Thibault, drives the baseline, bounced to Dickerson, and a two-handed stuff by Noah as he throws it down and pushes the lead back up to 4.
Interesting to note, Sam Merrill checked into the game on that last break with those 2 fouls.
And now David Crisp had his hand in the cookie jar. Fouled him from behind. That's his second. David Crisp picks up 2.
Those are the unnecessary ones, Tony.
Yep.
It was right here in front of us. We were watching that. It's just a reach around. David Crisp doesn't really have an opportunity to poke that ball free. Instead, a cheap second foul.
Noah Dickerson, after that dunk, already has 10 points. You know, he only averaged 5 in the Pac-12 tournament. Good to see Noah being a factor on the offensive end. Inbounds goes to Porter. Now it's Merrill on the right side. Give off to Porter. Returns it Merrill. He wants to angle in against the zone from the right side. Ball got knocked out of bounds by Jalen Noel, who gets patted on the backside by Will Conroy. Stays with Utah State. 4:36 left in the first half. Dogs by 4. 29-25 the first round of the NCAA tournament against Utah State.
David Crisp had to go out of the game now with those 2 fouls.
It's a long top of the 2-3 zone with Carter and Thibault. A 3 on the right wing by Merrill, missed it. Rebound ripped away by Dickerson, his 6th of the game. Up the middle of the floor comes Jalen Noel, splits defenders, drive and kick. Carter on the right side, angles into the foul line. He'll reverse it left wing over to Thibault, scoop top of the key to Noel, returns it Thibault. Right point 3 is good! Matisse Thibault! With his first 3 of the game, he's got 3. Huskies lead by 7. It's 32-25.
Boy, the dribble, drive, and kick. That ball was moving. Able to get a free look from Matisse.
From side to side, throw to the top of the key. Intercepted by Thibault, coast to coast, and a right-handed punch. Matisse Thibault causes Utah State to call a timeout by doing something only Matisse can do, totally reversing the field, and the Huskies lead by 9, 34-25. And the Huskies have built a 9-point lead with 3:58 to go in the first half. It's 34-25.
Yeah, this is the better version of Washington that we're used to seeing, whether it's Matisse Thibault on the offensive end, Jalen Noel, or Noah Dickerson down low. You're getting a combination of things that we saw throughout the course of the season. And fitting that Matisse Thibault, after knocking down that big 3, Tony, gets an attack steal, flashing through a gap and a breakaway dunk.
3:58 to go in the first half, 34-25 the score. And Brock Miller, who leads Utah State with 8 points, is on the bench. Still dealing with some blood coming out of his nose after getting tied up with Matisse Thibault on an earlier possession. Utah State brings the ball up the floor from right to left. It's Porter from the top, bounce to the mid-post. Taylor drives, dumps it down to Keita. Ball gets stripped away by Jamal Bay, and he touched it after having fallen out of bounds, so it'll stay with Utah State. And I think they're going to take a timeout. Also, Jamal Bay getting a handful of minutes out there defensively, being a factor. Has not scored yet, but he's coming off a career high in the Oregon game of the Pac-12 championship on the line. Merrill returns it to Brito. Back to Merrill in the left corner. Pestered by Nas Carter. Push it out top. Abel Porter with 7 on the shot clock. Porter from the top, defended by Carter. He'll get it to Merrill. Turn around, shot up on the way by Taylor. Missed it. Rebound Dickerson, his 7th of the ball game. Here come the Huskies up the floor from left to right. Dickerson gives off to Jalen Noel, off a screen, picks up his dribble, bounce down low to Noah, goes up over the left shoulder with a right-hand hook and missed it. It goes just out of bounds and back to Utah State.
You were just talking about the one-on-one matchup with Keita and Noah Dickerson. That was the first time that Noah looked like he was really trying hard to make a play instead of being patient and getting a good solid move.
Aggies up the floor from right to left. Huskies lead by 9, 34-25 here in the first round. Merrill is scoreless. He averages 22 a game. Here's Porter high on the left for Utah State. Brings it head of the circle, give left wing over to Brito. Now it's Taylor on the baseline, returns it Brito. Knocked loose by Thibault. It's out of bounds and back to Utah State, but Matisse was appealing. He said, that should be my 4th steal of the game.
I think that ball went off his leg. It was right in front of us. It appeared to go, I don't know. I'd love to see a replay on that one.
His hands are so lightning quick. His motor is so high that it is a shock to the system for the Aggies here as Washington leads by 9. Merrill tries to lower his shoulder into Thibault, picks up his dribble, shoots a three with a 1 on the shot clock, goes off the glass, rebound Dickerson up the left sideline to Jalen Noel, and the Huskies walk it into the front court with a 9-point lead. 10 points, 7 rebounds in the first half for Jalen, scratch that, for Noah Dickerson. Here's Samir Wright between the circles. Handoff goes Matisse Thibault. Crossover dribble and finds Jalen Noel at the left point. 10 to the shot clock, 2:22 before halftime. Noel down to the left wing. Guns a pass cross court to Hamir Wright. Pump fake, got his man in the air, drives the baseline. Layup rejected by Keita. It goes out of bounds and back to Utah State. And Hamir just kind of almost gift packaged a blockable shot for Neemias Keita.
Too slow. He had the three-pointer from the corner wing if he wanted it. When he took it into the lane, you got to go try to pack that. You can't just put it up soft against Keita.
Utah State up the floor. It's Brito high on the left, defended tightly by Thibault. Gives off to Porter. Porter returns it over to Brito high on the left. Brito holds the ball high, now dribbles it over to the head of the circle. Zips it past to Keita left baseline. Reverse it right side to Porter. Angles his way in, up with the left hand, missed it. Offensive rebound, Brito is stripped away. Dickerson takes it for the Huskies. Up the left sideline comes Jalen Noel. 1:45 left in the first half. Dogs looking for a double-digit lead. Noel, no look pass to Dickerson, and a dunk. Noah's got a dozen, and the Dogs lead by 11.
Great two-man game. The screen roll. Keita came up high. No backside help for Utah State. Easy play.
36-25. Huskies up by 11. Here's Morrill angling in from the right side. Whistle and a foul on Matisse. That's his second.
I just can't tell you, Tony, how many times Matisse just goes for the home run when he can just be solid. And every time it's one that puts him into a situation where he's in foul trouble. That's an unnecessary play with 1:25 to go in the first half.
So he has 2 now. And he's going to come out of the game. Dominic Green onto the floor, out there with Carter, Noel, Dickerson, and Hamir Wright. Also, David Crisp has 2 as well, as he's been on the bench for the last few minutes. Here's Justin Bean, gives off to Morrill, back to Bean, kick into the corner. Porter left alone for 3, and he buries it. Hamir Wright left him alone.
And I'm sorry, that's a Matisse Thibault not being on the floor three-pointer. As soon as he goes out, there's a difference in what Washington's doing defensively, and a wide-open breakdown 3 for Utah State.
Big bucket to give some momentum to the Aggies as Washington had taken a double-digit lead. Here's Jalen Noel, head of the circle, backs off under a minute to play in the first half. 36-28, Washington leads by 8. Dribbles over to the right point, now brings it top of the key. Kick into the left corner for Green, now left wing, it's Carter. Angles in, leaves out top. Jalen Noel, jab step, wants to go to work, back off, shoots a long 2, and got it to go. His foot was on the line, but pushes the lead back up to 10. Jalen Noel feeling good, he's in double figures with 11.
Difference in shot clock, game clock. Washington needs to stop here so they can get the basketball back.
8-second difference as Porter has it at the left point and bounces a pass to Brito, drives the right baseline. He got tied up by Dickerson, and they'll call a travel on Brito as he walks and turns the ball over for the 11th time for Utah State.
A great defensive play, exactly what you want now for Washington. Wind this whole thing down. It's a 1-4 low situation with Jalen Noel. Hopefully he doesn't get into a situation where he gets a charge. He's got shooters on the wings, but you know you want to put the ball in his hands. Let's see if Utah State tries to double him like Oregon did to take it out of his hands.
It's a great point, as Noel has picked up some charges in these situations, but already up by 10. You're just looking for a bonus ball here with 13 seconds left in the first half at the NCAA tournament, and the Dogs lead by 10, 38-28. Jalen Noel angles left, cross court pass to Nas Carter, 4 to play, drives the baseline under the basket, shovels it to Dickerson. Buddy is good at the buzzer. Noah Dickerson off a pretty wraparound assist from Nas Carter, puts it up and in for 2, and the Huskies lead by a dozen as we go into the break.
Great individual effort there from Nas Carter to get an angle going baseline and right place, right time. Noah Dickerson having himself a first half.
14 points, 9 rebounds for Noah Dickerson, and the Huskies lead Utah State 40-28 at the first round of the NCAA tournament.